This video is going to be a bit different from my other videos for obvious reasons. It's also going to be fairly short and to the point, so I'm going to try and speak from the heart here. So sorry in advance if I'm a bit all over the place. I was born in 1991, and growing up in that time period, I had three favorite people I enjoyed watching. There was Jim Carrey and Robin Williams, but on television it was Matthew Perry. I talked about this a bit in my NBC Thursday Nights video, but Friends was a show I grew up watching. It was my first adult comedy, if that makes sense. I would sit and watch it with my family every night it was on. Friends was a show that made me realize that family doesn't need to be blood related. And not to sound cliche, but watching that show was like seeing your friends every week. Quickly, Chandler Bing became my favorite character. I began imitating his sense of humor and his laid-back attitude. I remember walking around with my hands in my pocket doing some weird shrugs with my shoulders while no one was around. I would go around saying, "Shut up, shut up, shut up," after seeing the Pivot episode and going around saying, "Could I be wearing any more clothes?" Despite not only wearing the appropriate amount of clothes, but that line being one of Joey's while impersonating him. I owe a lot of my sense of humor to Matthew Perry's portrayal of Chandler. In 2000, Perry starred in The Whole Nine Yards alongside Bruce Willis, and my little mind was blown. This is someone who's on television. He can't do movies too. That's not allowed. I wore out the VHS tape on that one, and it quickly became one of my go-to films when I was younger. It was also possibly the first time I saw Boobs, so it was a bonus. In all honesty, I probably just saw the movie as Chandler Bing doing a film. It wasn't until I got older that I learned more about Matthew Perry and the fact that he's Canadian. I'm not sure if my American viewers can relate to this, but just like other countries, when we see one of our own break it big in like Hollywood or something like that, we get this big sense of pride, and it's like, yeah, they're one of us. It feels weird right now to be living in a world where all six friends aren't around. Because one thing about the show was knowing that they all genuinely got along and still speak to one another, which is sometimes rare for a show that's been on so long. We got to see them all back together again in the Friends reunion special, and to think we'll never get to see that again is heartbreaking, and it really feels like losing a piece of my childhood, like I'm sure it does for many other people. I usually try to avoid doing videos like these, but with the majority of my channel being 90s content and the fact that he was such a big influence on me, I felt like I wanted to say something even if it was just for me to get it out there. Matthew Perry will forever be one of the best, and he will be missed.